team IBAD-0102-16, and together we are going to solve the case budget conundrum and the next year budget meeting of Kim's company. So let's first discuss what is the background of this case. Here the issue, so here it is the Kim's company marketing team is trying to introduce a new product which name is Excelsior, and it is the new innovation and a new technology. So nothing can be said certainly about this product right now. And there are some existing products of this company currently. First one is Arely, which is the flagship product, and it has the high profit margin comparing to the other products. So it is the crown jewel of the domestic market. And the next one is Osage. Its target market is the export-oriented market, and it has a solid growth potential. And the last one is Cerealia. So its demand is gradually decreasing, so companies thinking of phasing it out. We also can know the total cost, sales price, sales forecast, production capacity, warehouse capacity from this case. So what are the challenges that we need to address to solve this case? First of all, as this is a new product, the Excelsior is a new product, so we need, it will be highly promoted, so there will be high demand spike in the market. So we will need to build enough inventory to fill or meet out this high demand at the introduction phase. But if we want to build enough inventory for this product, we have a limitation in the warehouse capacity, which is we can produce only for 200 pallets product, 200 pallets containing product. And there is another risk, that is, this is a new product, so there is a supplier risk. So due to this risk, the introduction phase may delay for 1 month. And we have another challenge, that is the production capacity. The company has only 5 machines, and if it runs for 24 hours a day, then we have only 7,200 minutes of production time. So when we started to solve this case, we came out some of the issues that we have to take on decision. First one is some of the data that we get from sales, from marketing, from production. Some of the unit of measurement is not definitively indicated. And the second one is it was told that outsource cost is $30, but whether it is additional to the existing cost or it is included in the cost, it is not said properly. So we have to take some assumptions to solve the case. So now Mr. Dalwar will...
Thank you, Shafkat. Good afternoon, everyone. So now I will go with the presentation. So our proposed solutions are divided into 3 parts. In the first part, I will show you some assumptions for the case. In the second part, the business decision, and in the later part, the logical reasoning behind our solution will be given by Mr. Imran. Now our assumptions. So while solving the case, we needed to identify the forecasted demand of each product family. That is why we used a part method, which is part value equal to pessimistic value plus 4 into most likely value plus optimistic divided by 6. And this gives us the highest demand for Excelsior product family, which is 230. Next, we also needed to find out the manufacturing time of unit product for each product family. And for finding out this manufacturing time, we multiplied lead time into 60 divided by our critical resource, which gives unit product of Arely product family 10 minutes time, and thus for Excelsior it goes to 13 minutes. Okay. Then our sum of we discussed for several times, and we reached at the final conclusion that introduction time for Excelsior is taken as 7 days, and during these 7 days, our demand will be taken 300 units because of our high marketing promotion. Next, the business decisions. So as we have seen the parts value of demand, Arely and Osage should be produced according to that value, but we will discontinue the production of Cerealia because of its low demand and the product was dying. Hence, the resources will be allocated for producing Excelsior. And with the remaining critical load constancies, 145 Excelsiors can be produced per day. And here is the picture of that manufacturing amount. And if we go with with this previous table, then our revenue margin looks like this, and highest amount of revenue comes from Arely and second highest comes from Excelsior. Hence our recommendations is Excelsior is going to be the future flagship product, but currently we don't have enough resources to produce Excelsior, and introduction of Excelsior should be delayed for 38 days, but this period will be used for making our inventories for Excelsior. And in the last including introduction, Excelsior can be sold for 68 days. After that, production will face a shortage of 68 Excelsiors per day, and production has to be outsourced until 2 new machineries are brought in, and we will order these new machineries from the very first day. And the reasoning will be discussed by Mr. Imran Chaudhuri. Now I would like to request Imran to continue the presentation.
Thank you and good afternoon everyone. Okay, let me just explain how we came up with the decisions and the logical reasons behind it. First, we suggest to discontinue Sedalia completely when the production of Excelsior is going to begin. This is due to 2 reasons. First, the profit margin contribution is Sedalia is only 1%, and as you can see, compared to all the other products, is contributes very minimum value. Also, if we take into consideration the product growth, we can see that Sedalia has negative growth and rest of the products has very good positive growth. So in conclusion, what we would suggest is to discontinue the production of Sedalia and allocate those resources for the production of Excelsior. Okay, now which products are we going to produce? We are going to produce Arely, Osage and Excelsior. Can we produce all the products of the given amount? No, we cannot, because we are constrained by the critical time and inventory. We given the critical time and inventory, we can produce the amount of Osage and Arely, but there would be a gap for Excelsiors. We found we can produce 145 Excelsiors per day with the resources we have. How did we arrive at that? Production was constrained by critical load time and inventory capacity. So we first calculated inventory load time. The amount of time we need to produce Osage and Arely adds up to 2835 minutes, which gives us the time remaining of 4350 minutes, which we can allocate to Excelsiors, and using that time we can produce only 145 Excelsiors. So we would still have a gap of 68 Excelsiors per day from the part amount. So what can we do? What we would then we took into consideration the inventory capacity. Using Arely and Osage, the amount of inventory occupied is 20 pallets. So we have a remaining inventory of 180 pallets, and those 180 pallets can be filled up by 5,271 units of Excelsior. So this amount of Excelsior can be stocked up, and we can use this stock to account for the 68 Excelsiors gap per day we are facing. So in order to produce this amount of Excelsior, okay, then again this Excelsior will be used for the initial introduction phase and then the remaining months. So as we have said before, we are taking 7 days for the introduction period, and the amount of Excelsiors for those 7 days are taken as 300. So it will give 2100 Excelsiors during the introduction time. And excluding that amount from our stockpile amount, we are left with 4186 Excelsiors, which can give a help to fulfill the production shortage for 61.6 days. So in summary, we would need 36.4 days to build a inventory stock. Introduction phase will be 7 days, and sale of Excelsiors will take 61.4 days. After this 61.4 days, we will face a gap of 68 Excelsiors, which has to be outsourced until new machinery arrives. So we also suggest to bring in 2 new machineries to meet this demand. The final part and concluding remarks will be given by Nabila Nazneen.
I guess Imran has made you understand the whole calculation proceedings. This is a budget. This is a budget estimation. We have only showed the cost of this whole the production cost of the various products we have, and the quantity we used are the part quantities. That is, for early we are using 154 per day. For Osage it is 78. For Sedalia it is 10, and for Excelsior, as we cannot reach the part quantity for our resource constraint, so the Excelsior we are using 145 quantity per day. And this is the cost distribution for different months. We can see that for Sedalia, for the first month, we have resources, we have warehouse capacity. So for the first month, we will be producing Sedalia, and because this is a product which has no future, so we will be discarding it from the second month because we need the warehouse capacity. Also, we need the resources, critical resources, to make other Excelsior. So, and in the first month, we will be ordering the machine, because the machine we need 9 to 12 months. So we definitely need to order it in the January month, so that we get it by the end of September or at latest October. And you can see that from March, that if this whole estimation is based on that we are having the production delay. We are having the introduction delay for 1 month because of the supplier difficulty. So we will not be producing Excelsior because of supplier difficulty. So we'll be starting production of Excelsior from February, and in the 38th day we will introduce the product in the market. So we'll be introducing in March, and as Imran explained, in May, in the mid-May, we'll be having the shortage of Excelsior. So from May, we will have to start the outsourcing cost here, and from May onwards, till we get our machine, we will be outsourcing our products. That is outsource cost added with the initial costing. Now if we see the outsourcing scenario, for Excelsior, if the product is produced in-house, then we are getting $127,000 around dollar per month. But if we outsource the product, then the margin is reduced, and the margin comes to $66,000 per month. So we see we don't want to lose this much profit. I mean, it is still profitable, but we are losing profit. For that reason, we need to buy machines. So if we summarize the whole discussion, the production delay will definitely reduce the profit for a month, but of course it will save the outsourcing cost too. And we need 2 extra machines. Why? First one, we don't want to outsource our product because it is reducing our profit. We don't want to lose profit. And secondly, and also there's a thing that the development is telling us that manufacturing cost will reduce. So the Excelsior manufacturing cost will reduce after a time. So definitely, if we outsource, it's our loss. We don't want to. We will get more profit if we produce the product in-house. So definitely, we need another machine. And the second machine we need for backup, because 5 machines cannot work 24 hours a day for long. Definitely, they will be needed for maintenance. There will be other needed things. So definitely, we need a backup. So I think. So finally, we think the Excelsior definitely should be produced. It will be great if it's produced on time, introduced on time. But yes, it can be delayed, but it should be in the market, and definitely we need to buy machines to continue our production.